only strike soldiers.
Hope faded.
Waited! Our declarations were spoken! Continue to bleed!
Collapsed. With the world now at war, Poland stood alone.
At dawn, Europe still slept. But history was about to be shattered.
On September 1st, 1939, Germany crossed a line that could never be erased.
The invasion of Poland had begun.
This was Blitzkrieg, lightning war. Fast, ruthless, unstoppable.
Do pozycji! Ognia! Kryj się!
Poland fought with courage, but courage alone could not stop the storm. From the skies came terror, a sound civilians would never forget.
War does not only strike soldiers, it devours the innocent.
Millions fled, not knowing if they would ever return.
And as Poland fell, the world stood at the edge of something far darker. The news raced faster than armies, and the world could no longer pretend.
In London, the silence was heavier than the noise of war.
Diplomacy had failed. There would be no turning back.
France followed. Europe's last fragile peace collapsed.
Many will never return.
While declarations were spoken! Poland continued to bleed!
Germany's war machine moved with terrifying precision.
Warsaw burned, a warning of what awaited the world.
World War had begun.
With the world now at war, Poland stood alone.
Outnumbered! Outgunned!
The Blitzkrieg showed no mercy and no pause.
Communications failed. Hope faded.
Silencio. Escucha.
Va a estar bien, mi amor. Dios nos ayude.
Victory was filmed, while suffering was ignored.
And from the east, another shadow waited!
Resistance collapsed. Survival became the only goal. A nation fell, but the war had only begun.
Poland was erased, with ink, not mercy.
Occupation replaced invasion. Fear replaced hope.
For some, the war became something far darker.
Even defeated, Poland refused to disappear.
Germany prepared for more, much more.
Across the Channel! Britain waited.
France waited too, behind walls of concrete.
The war spread into the seas.
What began in Poland was becoming a global fire. The battlefield expanded beyond land into the deep.
No warning! No mercy!
The sea claimed lives without ever seeing faces.
Broadcast at a time. Poland was only the beginning.
The machine refined itself, preparing to strike again.
No nation felt truly safe.
Voices refused to be silenced. The storm was gathering again. Braced for impact.
Germany prepared to strike where no one expected.
War now fell from the sky!
Speed was the weapon, confusion the result. France was caught between certainty and disbelief. Was thought impossible. It came. The defense collapsed faster than anyone imagined. Now! France waited for its turn.
France fell not with a scream, but with disbelief.
The war had arrived, and it did not ask permission.
Leadership fled. Responsibility shattered.
Paris, the heart of Europe, was taken without mercy.
Encircled! Exposed! Against all odds, rescue came from the sea.
Every escape was paid for in blood. They survived, but the war followed them home.
We shall fight on the beaches.
The warning came as signals, not sirens.
The battle for the skies had begun.
Germany came with numbers and confidence. Courage now flew at 12,000 feet.
Below ground, another battle was fought.
The Blitz turned night into hell. Leadership was no longer speeches. It was presence, endured and changed the course of the war.
What began in Poland could no longer be contained.
Across Europe, leaders made their choices, and nations followed, willingly or not.
The war followed ambition, even into the desert. Occupation became routine. Resistance became inevitable.
Far from Europe, another storm was forming.
For Asia, war had already arrived.
Across the ocean, a giant began to wake. But the decision to enter was not yet made.
History was moving toward a moment no one could stop. On one quiet morning, the illusion of distance still remained. Decisions made in silence set history.
Warnings appeared, but meaning arrived too late.
December 7th, 1941, a day remembered forever.
The war had crossed an ocean.
A nation listened and understood.
Industry became a weapon.
From Poland to the world, the war was now truly global. The war no longer belonged to one place or one moment. It spread across climates, across lives.
Every uniform carried a human story.
For civilians, survival became routine.
The sky itself became uncertain.
Not all battles were fought with weapons.
Or fed on movement. When the noise faded, only absence remained. This was no longer just a war of armies, but of humanity itself. The cost revealed itself, one name at a time.
Words carried what voices could not. Darkness became protection and habit.
The fighting did not.
The war tested every environment and every body. Sometimes danger was seen, only after it passed.
Survival learned new meanings. Nothing was wasted, everything reused. Even the land remembered. And still, the world waited to see what would remain.
Time moved differently now. waiting became its own battle.
Life continued, carefully. Movement never stopped, even when destinations were unclear.
Silence carried its own weight.
The world held its breath again and again. Hope did not disappear. It learned to hide. And with each new day, the story continued.
Fatigue settled in, deeper than fear.
The work never ended. Only the energy did.
Words became unnecessary.
Marching no longer meant momentum. Nature continued, indifferent. Rest came in fragments.
Every resource was measured twice.
The future felt distant, unclear.
Vigilance replaced rest.
And still, there was no end in sight.
Identity was reduced to what could be carried.
Normality became an imitation.
The future waited, unattended.
Movement replaced direction.
Comfort became brief and borrowed.
Control was maintained, even when purpose faded.
Disappeared faster than memories.
Endurance became the only measure.
The war continued, not loudly, but endlessly.
Survival learned to depend on one another.
Life adjusted quietly.
Moments of calm were taken, never given.
Rebuilding began without certainty. Days ended and began again.
Even simple moments passed without leaving a trace.
Rest returned in measured portions.
The war remained, but so did life.
It held.
Strength became shared. Memory demanded space.
Plans shifted repeatedly. Paths crossed, then disappeared.
Care survived, quietly.
And so the war continued, shaping everything it touched. Order was rebuilt in small ways. Togetherness changed, but did not vanish. The land began to respond, slowly. Stability arrived, unevenly. Silence became familiar. Each day resumed without announcement. Time was recorded, not explained.
Journeys separated, quietly.
And still, the conflict remained part of the world.
What once thundered, now waited. Time did not erase. It layered.
Life returned, altered. Memory required care, and remembered, longer than people. Some stories were told, others set aside. History moved forward, regardless. The world continued, changed by what it carried. It began here, but it did not end here. And history remained unfinished.